This is one of the most important videos you're ever going to watch about credit repair. I've been in the credit repair industry for over a decade and a half, and on today's episode, I want to give you a lot of clarity because what I have seen is because of social media, you've been fed a lot of lies about credit repair, and on today's episode, I'm going to give you clarity and clear that all up for you. It's sad to say that the credit repair industry has turned into a cesspool of lies and manipulation that unfortunately I cannot control, and neither can the actual small 3% or probably less than 2% of credit repair companies that are legit in the United States. Make sure that you watch this to the end because there's a lot of information that you do not want to miss out on. We have a lot of ground to cover, so let's get right into it. One of the biggest red flags to pay attention to if you're looking to work with someone in credit repair, if they ask you to pay them for their services up front. That is 100% illegal, and you should never pay anybody up front for any credit repair services. They must perform the duties and the tasks before they even charge you or they even take a payment from you. If they ask you to make payment through Zelle, Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal, it is 100% a scam. If anyone ever tells you that they can delete an item from your credit report or that they can delete that item in a specific amount of time, it's a scam. There is absolutely no way to tell if they can actually delete it or that it can be deleted, period, because no credit repair company works directly with the credit reporting agencies. And that's another part of a scam that they love to say, oh, we got a connection at TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax, and we'll get it done. They're lying. That's definitely a scam. This is very important for you to understand. There is no credit repair company that can control the process and tell you if an item can be deleted because they don't work for the credit reporting agencies. They don't work side by side with the credit reporting agencies. They have no clue what the response from the credit reporting agency is going to be. You are literally working to see if the item can in fact be deleted because again, we don't control the process. Neither do any of these credit repair companies out there. So when they come up to you and they say, oh, we can fix your credit in 30, 60, or 90 days, that's a scam. This is a huge one right here. Before they can even talk to you, they must actually give you a copy of the credit repair agreement and you must agree to it and sign it. Now, it doesn't make it binding and you don't have to pay them any money, but you need to see the agreement up front and then that will gain them access to even look at your credit reports. Because if they don't let you see the agreement before looking at your credit reports, they do not have the authority to even look at your credit reports. So if a credit repair company is like, oh yeah, man, we'll sign you, we'll get you rolling, we'll get you fixed up, and they haven't even looked at your credit report, like how are they even going to determine that? How can they know if you even qualify? That is immediately a scam if a credit repair company doesn't even look at your credit reports, and if they don't give you an agreement to look at and sign, it's definitely a scam. Here is the biggest law that every single credit repair company out there in the United States, I would say like at least 97 or 98% of them are breaking. You cannot talk to anybody on the phone about credit repair. So if someone is asking you for an actual consultation, yeah, man, book your free consultation. We'll get on the phone, we'll talk to you, we'll take a look at your credit reports. That's 100% illegal. There is something that the Federal Trade Commission created. I call it the end all be all that can take out any business if it sees fit. It was designed to be a business killer at the end of the day. But what happened here is a lot of credit repair companies do not pay attention or don't even know that this rule even exists. I've been at conventions where people are like, yeah, man, we're going to teach you how to talk to people on the phone, tell them, how to get set up with your free consultation. And I'm sitting there like, oh my God. All of these people in this room have no idea that this is illegal. This specific rule that was made by the FTC is called the Telemarketing Sales Rules Act. Let me give you a brief summary so you understand where I'm coming from and that this is in all cap. I'm not saying a bunch of lies out here. So the telemarketing sales rule, which requires telemarketers to make specific disclosures of material information, prohibits misrepresentations, sets limits on time telemarketers may call consumers, prohibits calls to a consumer who has asked to not be called again, and sets payment restrictions for the sale of certain goods and services. So you remember how I said you actually have to see the credit repair agreement up front so you understand what you're actually getting yourself into. Right here, this is why you have to see the actual agreement first. Now, this isn't a sales plug, but I just want to give a bunch of clarity because some people came into the comments and dropped some hate on me on a previous video that I did. The way the program works is you are being asked to supply documents, credit reports, any letters from debt collectors, creditors. We actually underwrite the file. The fees that people are paying for are for us to gather gather the files and actually pay the employees that are putting the actual files together, that are underwriting the files to get them to the legal team. Then once the legal team gets the files, they approve it, then you make an introduction and the legal team takes over. Then the legal team, which are attorneys, do all the disputing for the client. They take over the entire process. We do no disputing and there's no credit repair involved. So people were like, oh, you're asking for money up front for the actual attorney program. No, we're not. It's not credit repair. You cannot ask for money up front for credit repair. The DIY program is also different because the DIY program, you do not have to ask for money up front because guess what? You're signing up for the service. You're actually controlling the process. It's not considered credit repair when it's actually done as a do-it-yourself. Last part's the most important. I just want to take a few minutes to give you clarity because there was a lot of confusion out there and a lot of people were spitting hate out there. And at the end of the day, we are not doing anything illegal. We are operating 100% legal within all of the parameters. And this is why we do DIY and we offer an actual attorney program because none of it is actual credit repair. So moving on, one of the biggest questions that people ask is how long should it take to fix my credit? And people get shocked when I tell them this answer. I don't know. Neither does the other guy, neither do they. Nobody knows. From my data points that I have gathered being in the industry for over a decade and a half, I have seen that it normally can take 8 to 12 rounds. Each round is going to be 35 days. There's some people that can go 4, maybe 6 rounds and they're done. Everything has been clean. There's some people that can go all the way up to 8 or maybe 12 rounds and they still have some things left over that they can't get off. You have to make a decision as an adult to say when you need to throw in the towel and call it quits. A credit repair company isn't going to be able to justify or say, oh yeah, man, let's do another 4 rounds. Let's see if we can get it off another 4 rounds. If you haven't gotten off in 12, what would 4 more do for you? Because at the end of the day, we need to come back to reality and understand that these are our items. Unless you were a victim of identity theft and they truly aren't your items, but at the end of the day, we know that you created this, you caused the problem, so we need to understand that some things just can't be deleted. And I'm gonna say it, there's gonna be people that are gonna hate me and they're gonna say, oh, that's not true, he's a liar, he's a scammer, he's a fraud. No, guess what? You're the scammer because you're not telling people the truth. And another big question that people always ask me is, well, should I pay this charge off? You know, I mean, is that gonna fix my credit if I just go and just pay them all? No, it's actually not, unfortunately, because if you pay the original creditor, the balance that's actually reporting on your credit report is not what's hurting your credit score because that balance is now taken out of your actual available credit and your revolving credit and it goes to your debt to income ratio. So it's not hurting your score. Let me put my chart up on the screen so I can really better break it down for you because there's been some dinosaurs that are in the credit repair industry that don't even understand how this works. And they say, oh yeah, it totally still helps if you pay it off, Mike, and it lowers their debt to income. Your debt to income only matters when you're trying to buy a home. At the end of the day, car dealerships look way past debt to income ratios because what happens is that debt moves from your utilization, if it was a credit card, and goes to your debt to income ratio. But look at the actual chart of the factors that actually make up your credit score. You're looking at credit utilization, payment history, credit age, credit mix, and inquiries. Those 5 make up your credit score. So if it goes to your debt to income ratio, it's not going to help you when you pay it off. These 5 items are the items that make up your credit score. So understanding if you pay it, it's not going to help your credit score because the status of charge off or collection is still on the credit report, and that's what's truly hurting your credit score. And this is truly why you want to delete an actual collection or a charge off because you have to get rid of it altogether. Original creditors don't generally do any pay for deletes. Only 2 companies that I know of, American Express and Chase Bank, are one of the very few 2 companies that actually will delete in exchange for payment, but they're not doing it as often as they used to. You have to go through so many different channels to get to the right person to get them to agree to delete it in exchange for payment. And it's very, very few people that I've seen that actually have been able to do it in the past 2 years because they pulled away from it due to COVID. If you ever negotiate with anybody that you're going to pay them and they're going to delete it, you need to get it in writing. They must tell you that they're going to delete the actual negative account off your credit report from all credit reporting agencies and the debt is paid in full. Because let's say you negotiate for an actual 50% payment of what you actually owed. Now, if you don't get it in writing that it's actually paid in full, they can sell that remaining 50% to another debt collector and then he's going to come after you, put it on your credit report, and here you go. You got started right back where you were before. Now, this this is my last and final and favorite one. When anybody ever tells you, yeah, man, we're gonna delete these items and your score is gonna shoot to the moon. Pump your brakes. Big red flag, they're a scammer, because there's no way to know how your score is going to react when an item gets deleted. Deletions don't equal your score rising, because think about it like this. If you had an account with Capital One, we're just gonna use this hypothetically. If you had an account with Capital One and that credit card was open for 5 years, and then in your final year, you went through financial hardship and the account closed and it charged off, now it's crushing your credit score. You're like, okay, if I delete this should help me. But you're not paying attention to the bigger picture here. It does have a charge-off status, but it has 5 years of positive payment history attached to it. Payment history makes up 35% of your credit score. So when you delete that item and you rip it off your credit report, guess what? You just ripped off all that positive payment history, and it can actually cause your score to drop instead of going up when an item gets deleted. So not every single deletion is going to mean that your score is going to rise. Credit repair, when it's done truly and effectively, is a two-part process. You want to see how many of these negative items you can truly delete, and you need to rebuild properly. You need to reestablish and build credit and start building positive payment history and start banking properly and getting your finances back on track. If you don't do all of those things together, you're not going to be successful in credit repair, and you're just going to waste your money and get nowhere. I lied and I said that was my last one, but this is truly my last one. You need to listen to this one. This is very important. This is one of the biggest scams that I'm seeing in credit repair right now. Americans are buried in credit card debt, and credit repair companies are taking advantage of these same people. People think that if I hire a credit repair person to delete these negative items, that will make my score rise. When in fact, you need to take that money and you need to invest it into paying down your credit cards. Don't do credit repair. You need to pay down your credit cards first and then work on actually fixing your credit later. All of that money that you're spending on credit repair is going to get you nowhere, and you're going to be disappointed because you say, well, my score's not going anywhere. Nothing's getting deleted. It's going to take time to see if it could be deleted, because remember, I told you how long. So instead, take your money and put it towards your credit card debt and pay that down. And that will be the fastest way that you can actually raise your credit score, and you can actually see exactly where your full credit score capacity can go to, because it's sitting at a certain point right now. But when you pay off your credit card debt, you're going to see the maximum height that your actual credit score can go to. And then now you can get started and actually working on trying to get deletions from your credit reports. I hope you enjoyed this video. We covered a lot about credit repair, and I hope we gave you a lot of clarity and truth. Make sure that you watch the next video, because it is about how to delete hard inquiries from your credit report. And if you felt that I brought you some value in this video, make sure that you don't forget and subscribe to increase your credit score.